Good morning, good morning. Drop it in the chat. Let me know where you're calling in from. We'll get started in just a moment. I ain't saying it's easy, cause focus is something you have to be. It ain't no better feeling than setting your own salary. Hey, you can be your own bank and take your time while you're learning it. Where you about to be is not where you reside currently. We gon' teach you how to compound it while you're earning it. It's that new type of money, that's a different type of currency. Hey, you can be your own bank and take your time while you're learning it. Where you about to be is not where you reside currently. We gon' teach you how to compound it while you're earning it. It's that new type of money, it's that new. I believe by now you understand, but if you don't, we got you. You gotta make up in your mind, you ain't gon' let nothing stop you. We gon' break that thing down till you simple and proper, and let you know you were created to dominate and prosper. And we just tryna help somebody, we ain't tryna convince you. But it kinda hard to believe if you still ain't interested. You can put your money in the bank, but it won't collect no interest. We can show you how to make your funds have a higher percentage. We wanna take action, we ain't capping it for real, y'all. Come learn another way that you can pay your bills on. Pull out your phone and your computer after you hear this song. Tap in to be your own bank, movement.com. Hey, you can be your own bank and take Hey, good morning. Good morning. We gonna teach you how to compound it while you're earning it. Drop it in the chat. Let me know where you're calling in from. We're getting this call started in just a moment. Teach you how to compound it while you're earning it. It's that new type of money, it's that new king currency. You can be your own bank and take your time while you're learning it. Where you about to be is not where you reside currently. We gonna teach you how to compound it while you're earning it. It's that new type of money, it's that new king currency. Hey, it's that new kingdom currency. Come on, guys, drop it in the chat. Drop it in the chat. Drop it in the chat. That is supposed to be on repeat. I don't know why. It did not want to repeat, but drop it in the chat. We're about to get started in just a minute. Where you calling in from? Teach you how to compound it while you're earning it. It's that new type of money, that's a different type of currency. You can be your own bank and take your time while you're learning it. Where you about to be is not where you reside currently. We gonna teach you how to compound it while you're earning it. It's that new type of money. All right, drop it in the chat. Hey, first of all, let me tell you about the business. I hope everyone is having a wonderful morning this morning. Welcome. Let me know, guys. How do you like our new platform, the Academy, right? This is that official launch of the BYOB Trading Academy, our wealth platform. That is what this is, the official launch. So go ahead and drop it in the chat. Let's see. I got the fire. I love it. All right. Good morning, Cleveland, Chattanooga, Tennessee. Good morning, Cleveland. It is more of you all on the line. I know it is, but I'll play this game with you. Good morning. This is Tasha M. Dyer, the Trade Whisperer. So, ladies and gentlemen, I just want to welcome each and every last one of you all to our call this morning. I need you in the right mindset. I need you affirming, believing. Good morning, Georgia. There we go. I need you affirming and believing. Now, I'm going to tell you guys, we're going to give you some information. We're going to get started. We're going to do some analyzations. We had some news this morning, but we're going to dive in this morning. And if you haven't noticed, I do want to kind of walk you guys back just a little bit, because as I walk you back, I want you to visit our website, BYOBmovementworldwide.com. I want you to visit our website. And you want to join the webinar to really get information and understand exactly what this is all about. But why is that so ultimately important as well? Well, because we're not going to be on Zoom. All right. I want to be very, very, very clear. We are not going to be on Zoom. Let me repeat. Now, I will tell you this because I know you guys love a platform where you can invite guests, share the great things that you're doing, this great opportunity, understanding where you're going to be in profit. And you are like, you know what? I need a space and I need a place that I can kind of share this information. So where is that? We will have 1 or 2 classes that will be streamed for that purpose only.
that purpose only. It's not going to be a full hour. It won't be the full thing, but it's just to kind of, let you guys know what's out there, what we're doing. And then, of course, we're going to be streaming from within the academy. So you want to make sure that you are connected, right? You want to make sure that you are enrolled. All right. Also, so get registered. I'm going to go ahead and jump over here to our live feed. Now, on our live feed, what you're looking at on this live feed is you actually can see a chart. Now, as you guys have already figured out and you've been told, we are no longer affiliated with the previous company that we were connected to. We never really promoted a company, but in a sense, our whole focus has been your economic empowerment. Our entire focus has been about putting you in a winning position. And so within that, we want to provide the resources and the things that we're utilizing to really put you in a position to where you can be successful. So we are on TradingView. And of course, I'm the creator of the BYOB cash out strategy. So of course, we have a template, a TradingView, which did feed the tool that we were using. I've gotten the comments, oh, this looks similar, oh, different things, but let me just let you, in all transparency and clarity, we utilize a tool. It gave us triggers, different alerts, different things, but at the same time, it is the same chart. Okay, it's the same chart. So TradingView is what we're using, but that is also what filtered inside of there. And just for clarity, I want to make sure this is a functional chart. So it's not something, you can definitely join in on here. You can definitely kind of market charts up, kind of switch back and forth. We do have a few currencies that were added to the watch list for you. But I mean, it's there. So, I mean, you can come here, you can analyze here, I can switch and then I come back and it's still there. Okay. So you can kind of see that you can come on here and you can kind of mark this chart up, and it's already preset with the BYOB cash out strategy for those of you trading the BYOB cash out strategy. And I do want you guys to understand, when you enroll as a platform, as a company, of course, we do believe in this strategy, but guess what? We also 2 million families. So 2 million families worldwide, there are many different strategies and techniques and analyzations that people utilize. So we're going to have educators that fit that bill from all different walks of life and for all different sorts of preferences. So we will be showing you different aspects of the market. So you want to make sure that you tune in. And as a matter of fact, before we end this call, I actually have a preview for each and every last one of you all to kind of show you exactly what I'm talking about as far as what's to come. But some of these things will only be offered through the actual enrollment. Now, before we dive into the charts, I do want let's talk about our economic news and our calendar. We also, on our website, BYOB Movement Worldwide, we have an economic calendar. You notice that our time is here, it's 9:08. You can actually come in, you can filter it for what you're looking for. I do want to take off my low and non-impact news. I want to focus on my medium and my high impact news. As far as you can see the date that we're on. If I wanted to look at tomorrow, you can actually change those things. So it's fully capable for you to select your preferences and exactly what you're looking for. And this is that high impact news. So as I'm looking, you can kind of see we had some impact news, some retail sales. It was negative in a sense that actually happened right before the call started. So of course it did kind of impact some of the analyzations that we're going to go over, but that's neither here nor there. We'll dive into that in a minute. And guys, drop it in the chat as we're going through this, drop it in the chat and, let's just really, once again, dive in and, drop it in the chat and we will really just kind of get functional as far as I'll answer your questions, because I want to make sure that you guys have that clarity and exactly what you're looking for as we kind of walk through this. All right. And so we can kind of see what's happening. So we do have quite a bit of medium news this week, and it's always right. The CPIs, our retail sales, those things always come after retail sales, PPIs, those things, they always come after our NFP, things. So these are the things that actually have a significant impact on the market. And as you can see, That's what's happening. On top of, let's not, you know, I haven't heard it discussed, but I want to be very clear. We had a bank fail, you know. Of course, that's what's being talked about. We're going to have impact on that. So that's important. So let's jump over, because we always talked about Bloomberg and making sure you're understanding your financial news. Now, this is actually a part of our Trading Academy. So if you're on our BYOB Trading Academy site, then when you come, okay, I want you to come here and I want you to click Daily News. We also have some tools for you here as well. But if I click Daily News, and then of course, now Daily News, Forex Heat Map, and Tools, these are going to be different tools. So you want to make sure you could just click Daily News. It's not either or. You have three choices, three options here. So we're going to let this play. And when I start playing it, I know for whatever, and I know it's Zoom. I know it's Zoom. It's not the individual's sites. It's not any of that. So there's been some issues with the audio coming through Zoom. So it's been a Zoom glitch. But so just drop a 555, because I want to make sure you hear it.
Live from the world's capital markets, here are the latest financial headlines brought to you by BYOB Trading Academy.
Hello, and welcome to Wednesday's Financial News. Stay with us for more market headlines.
NatWest has joined the ranks of UK banks imposing restrictions on its customers making payments to cryptocurrency exchanges. Customers will be limited to payments of £1,000 per day and £5,000 over a 30-day period. Shockwaves from the collapse of Silicon Valley Bank further pounded global bank stocks as assurances from President Joe Biden and other policymakers did little to calm markets and prompted a rethink on the interest rate outlook. Gold prices slipped from a more than 5-week high, but held above the key $1,900 level as expectations grew that the US Federal Reserve would dial back its rate hikes after the collapse of two big regional banks. The pound-dollar pair saw a minor dip of 0.1% in the last session. The MACD is giving a positive signal. The Bitcoin-dollar pair exploded 1.1% in the last session. The MACD is giving a positive signal. The Aussie-dollar pair rose 0.3% in the last session. The ROC is giving a positive signal. The dollar-yen pair rose 0.9% in the last session. According to the CCI, we are in an oversold market. The US retail sales will be released at 12:30 GMT. The US Producer Price Index at 12:30 GMT. The Eurozone's industrial production at 10:00 hours GMT. The French Consumer Price Index will be released at 07:45 GMT. Japan's exports at 23:50 GMT. Japan's imports at 23:50 GMT.
We hope that you've enjoyed Wednesday's market outlook. On behalf of all of us here, we wish you a productive trading day. Be sure to join us tomorrow morning for the latest news and events from the financial markets.
So you want to make sure, ladies, now that's fire, right? I'm just going to put that out there. That's just how I feel about it. But you want to make sure that you do chime in, because you want to train your mind. I know it might have been a little foreign to some of you all, right? I know it might have been a little different because it's not your typical CNN, MSNBCs, and our focus is financial news. And so this is going to begin to train your mind and to train your thought process and to train you in order to make sure that, you know, you are focused on what we need to be focused on in the market. And then also I want you all to get in a habit, if you notice that this is today's date, I want you to get in a habit of coming here where we can get different trade ideas and, you know, just understanding what's happening with currency pairs. This is all about your education. We've always been focused on that. And so as you kind of dive in, you always get focused on what's happening with Euro USD, right? Remain largely unchanged. So if you haven't noticed, we've walked away from this a long time ago, but we are focused on your education and your understanding of the market. And that's ultimately what's going to make you profitable. We do not focus on these quick pips and no, let me grab it. It is discipline, consistency, and your persistency. You have to build that consistency and understanding. And that is what we're focused on here with BYOB. And so these tools were developed with that in mind. So you can understand. So if it's not, yes, as some people have a trading pair that they preference, some individuals have trading currencies that they like, some individuals like US 30, some individuals, you know, the indices, you might like commodities, you might like just traditional Forex pairs. You might like a multitude of different things. However, you need to stay in tune as far as what's going on with them. And so when I'm looking like GBP, if I've heard it, I like GBP USD, you know, I like GU, great, fantastic. I like it too, right? But it's not the only one that I like. But I want you to understand that you want to kind of understand what's happening and what's going on in the market. All right. So you have your AUD USD. So it's different things. So you can see is giving a positive signal. This one is giving a positive signal. And understand, a signal is not in the sense of what you're accustomed to believing that a signal is. No, ma'am, no, sir. We still do not just give you, oh, this is it. And we will never do that. And we've never done that. And we're not going to start today. What we're going to do is make you an educated trader that's truly going to help you understand the market. So different currency pairs, just come over here. You know, USD JPY is in an oversold market. Look at Bitcoin. As you heard, Bitcoin exploded. That's one of the ones we're going to look at today. So if you've been holding it, if you've purchased some, you've been holding it, or you've been trading it, guess what? We're going to analyze that as well. You know, somebody asked about gold, you know, it's giving a positive signal. So different things are on here. That's the oil, right? Oil. So that's what's here. Okay, and you want to make sure you come. And then, of course, you have your different tools that you come to different, you know, so some of the things, obviously, and a broker on the call last night that was analyzed. When you look at the broker, obviously, there are some resources in there. But if that's not the broker that you're utilizing, you know, all of, you know, fibs, right? We talk about harmonic patterns, which is your fibs. It talks about the Fibonacci retracement, pivots, you know, you just plug the information in there. So all of this is here. I tell you, get in there and play with it. Okay, get in there and play with it. And it's really going to assist you, you know, in really digging in and diving in. Okay. So I'm excited because that's really what this is all about, right? And then of course your heat map, really helping you understand what's hot. Is it hot or is it not? So what's happening, you know, with the different currency pairs. So obviously it's never going to be USD to USD, which is why you have the logo there. But if I'm at USD Euro, you know, you can kind of see what's positive, what's negative, meaning, and in a sense of when you're talking about the big scope of things and the big scope of the market, positive, obviously long, negative, short, you know, as far as the market's moving, because it's not just trading, it's investing, it's all of those things combined. Okay. So let's dive in and let's go ahead and get on the chart. Now, once again, I have a few things that I had been looking at, and that's one of the trades I pulled this morning, you know, so where we're going to start, let's go ahead and get started down here. And I have this, and you guys don't have to work with me because this is what I'm going to be doing with you all is going to be a weekly outlook. You know, it's going to be an analysis of a chart and more or less like a weekly outlook. And it's not for a quick trade. Okay. It is for a market analyzation to trade, if that makes sense. So that's ultimately what I'm going to be helping you see and helping you analyze to kind of follow through and things like that. So we're always going to start with our higher time frames. Okay. We're always going to start there. And as we start there, what does that have? GBP. Let me see. As we start there, nope, don't have it right there. Hold on. As we get in there and we start from this analysis, you know, what I'm gonna help you do is understand the market. So I'm gonna show you what I have because yes, I do use BYOB cash out. Let me be clear, but you also want to see how the market interacts, which is why you have a candles class inside of the academy. And you know, once again, I'm gonna show you, and I have mine on my favorites, and you should have been walked through on your favorites, but I have my line chart, I have my Hikkinashis, and then I have my traditional candles that are all right here that I can switch back and forth from where I want my proper analyzation, and you want to be able to do that. And then of course you can unstar, I don't need those. So you put your favorites on here that, you can kind of walk through and analyze. So where I'm at, and I'm gonna start up here. I'm on my daily, okay? We're gonna start with GBP AUD, okay? And you see some markup already, but I'm gonna squinch this chart up. Yes, I'm still the same person. We're gonna squinch up the charts. And when we squinch up the charts, what I want you looking at, and let me put my Hikkinashis back on there. What I want you looking at is where we are in the market. And that's how you're going to first begin to identify your zones, okay? So first and foremost, you want to identify your zones. Please ask the questions in the chat, because that's the only way you're going to be able to, like understand what I'm talking about if you have a question. Now, if you're brand new or if you're a guest, I understand you're going to have to go through the academy, go through some basics, go through that. But, I just want to be clear as far as what it is. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to just kind of pull this over because I'm on my daily chart. Now, we analyze on my higher time frame, like understanding where the market is. I have to look at my higher time frame to get a clear picture, understanding of what the market's doing. I take my trades on my lower time frame. All right. So you enter lower, you analyze higher. Okay. You enter lower, you analyze higher. And so a lot of times when you're looking at the charts, when we start you out in a basics format, okay, so I want to be very clear and deliberate in the understanding. When we start you out on the lower time frames, it's to get that familiarization with the market. Just like if you don't start at algebra, when you have to learn how to add and subtract, multiply and divide before you can start understanding the more concepts. So we get you very familiar, help you understand how to take trades. And then of course, for you to ultimately walk in success, you have to increase that knowledge and skill set. So where we are is here. All right. And what I'm doing is I'm looking on my daily time frame. So what does that mean? That means that every day I get a candle. Every day I get a candle, right? Every day I get a candle. So it's not a whole bunch of candles. So, the reality is it's not a whole bunch of candles. So, that means one candle each and every single day. So I'm not looking for a proper entry point from there. I'm trying to see what the market's doing. How is it reacting to what's going on? What is my ultimate direction of the market? And so as you notice, what I'm doing is utilizing my tools, and I'm looking to kind of make those areas where I can kind of focus. And so what you're seeing here is obviously, and let me make this a little transparent. What you're seeing here is that, and we probably shouldn't make them all orange, maybe not. But what you're noticing is this is that zone area where we're focused because this is where the market is. So what does that tell me? That tells me that I'm not trading outside of this or outside of this until I have confirmation that the market is moving out of there. Are you with me? Are you with me? Are you with me? Yes, yes, no, no, yes, yes, no, no. So are you with me? Okay, awesome. I got a yup. I got a 555 and a yup, yup, yup. Yes, and a yup. All right. You're not with me? So if you're not with me, have you gone through the academy? Yes or no? If you're not with me, have you grasped the concepts of the basics and, candles, market, like some of the market dynamics? So those are some things you have to grasp, but I promise you this, if you stick with me, it'll begin to get a lot clearer. It'll be clear as mud, right? Clear. I'm just playing. So now what you're seeing, okay, so we understand where we are. So this is that zone area when I talk about zones and different things. Now, obviously, I'm not trying to trade from here to here just like that. That's a lot of pips, right? 800 pips, over 800. So I'm on my daily chart, okay, right? I'm on the daily chart and understanding, understanding that when I'm here on my daily chart, then what you're looking for is you're looking for the activity. So now let's go ahead and drop down, okay? Let's drop down. So as I begin to drop down, now, these are already support and resistance lines that are drawn, and these will be targets. There is a harmonic pattern that was identified in there, but these are obviously targets. And so what you're looking at is obviously, when I look, obviously harmonic patterns, I'm not going to draw that up, but when you can kind of see where we are, is that have a rejection in the market. And so what we're doing is focus on what the market's actually doing, which is why we're going to do the setups with you. Okay, we're going to give you some setups. We're going to go through the setups, and then you'll be able to go identify your own. Okay, so I'm dropping down to my 4 hour. And when I drop down to my 4 hour, I now can begin to see some trend. So remember, it's that 1-2, pull it through. Don't get too caught up on exactly where your lines are, but you want 2 touches. And once you have those 2 touches, then it begins to pull through. So now, right, I have a trend. So I am creating those higher highs, those higher lows. You know, as long as my highs are getting higher and my lows are getting higher, I'm in an upward trend. So you notice that that's what the market's doing. So what I'm looking for is you're trading what we'll begin to see as we analyze. So this is what we call a top-down analysis. So we started on our daily time frame. Okay, we started on my daily time frame. I dropped down to my 4 hour, and when I drop down to my 4 hour, now you can see that rejection in that zone still, right? I still have that rejection there. When I come down, what are we doing? When I come down to my hour, what I can see is still some rejection there. Okay, so you see I'm on my hour. Now, I am not going to show, I want to show you, because what we always do is want you guys to compare what's happening with where the market's moving. And I want you to be able to see it. Okay, I want you to be able to see it. So for any questions, comments, or testimonies? So any questions, comments, or testimonies? Let me see. All right, none? Okay. So I'm gonna do a side-by-side. Now I am gonna tell you this, that if you do a side-by-side, you are going to have an upgraded account. You cannot do this without that upgraded account. So let me see here. Get in the right area. And why is it not showing? Where are my lines? Where are my lines? I'm on the right one. GBP AUD. So let me undo it. My line should be there as well. So if I'm on this one, and they're not, but that's okay. So we're gonna drop them. So you see where I have it as the 8.2, around the 8.25. So normally what happens is, because it's the same chart that you have, and I'm wondering what I did that is not, but we're not going to attempt to figure that out at this current moment. That's not what we're going to do. Okay, so you can kind of see where we are. So I'm like double checking sometimes you have to GBP AUD. I come over here and I'm at GBP AUD. I'm at GBP AUD, and it's, why is it not the same? So what I'm going to do, let me do this. Let me do this on my higher time frame, because I want you to be able to see it. And if I have to redraw it, that is fine. But I do want you all to be able to see it. And then I have another line here. Well, thank you so very much. And we're going to put that on there. So it's there. We have the 1.78852. Okay, so that's basically what you should be seeing. So let me bring this back over. And so now you can see that zone area right here. I'm on this one, I'm on my 1 hour. On this one, I am on my 4 hour, but I'm going to drop down to the 15. So what you see is, you can see the activity side by side. So when this acts right, okay, when it's acts right, because my markups hold, what typically happens is I'll be able to see all the activity. So if I was to put a box on this one for them, and it could just possibly be 2 different brokers, that's FX, that's who we have. So I might have clicked a different one, which is quite possible because it does happen. But typically, oh, you see, look, the box popped up over there. So maybe, I don't know, maybe it was just a glitch in the thing. but you can kind of see that that box, I have that box around that candle, and you see the box is now showing here. So we don't have the activity that we're looking for. So when we talk about time frame confluence, I have my Hikinashi candles. So we're actually at this rejection area. So you can see where we're at the rejection area, but you see how the market is also on the side here, okay? And so what we're looking for, obviously, on my higher time frames, obviously you can see that support and resistance line, okay? But we need to break this. But what's gonna typically happen is when this comes down to a support and resistance, okay. I see things popping up. I'm like, okay, what happens is if I come here, right, it hits the support and resistance lines, it pulls back and it breaks through, and then it retests the line, and then it comes down. And I'm gonna do that, move it over, right? And you can kind of see what would happen. So that's what it would look like, right? So over here, it stopped working, but you can kind of see where it was, but now you see it's moving on the other one. So, but that's what it looks like when I drop down to my lower time frame. And so you're looking for that movement, and you want to make sure that you get that movement. So if I look at my traditional candles, okay, you can see where we're rejecting. And so now you know where your initial target would be. If you miss that initial movement, you wait for it to break. It might not break, it might pull back up, but you understand the zone that you're in. And that's ultimately what you'd be looking for to actually take a trade. I'm gonna switch back. And of course, if I'm here, now let's talk BYOB cash out strategy. Okay, let's talk that. Because we have, where am I at? Let's drop down to my 15. All right, let's drop down to my 15 minute. You notice that I'm not taking the strategy before I understand where I'm at. So if I come over here, I am on my Hikinashi candles to make sure we're correct. So we do not have confluence. So notice that my stochastic is in an upward momentum. I would be looking for this to be in a downward momentum, obviously. So, but it's starting to get that curve. I do have a flat top candle, but what's my leading indicator? My stochastic. So you notice that my Hikinashi candle is here. My PSAR has not flipped. So at the hour, okay, at the hour, things might be a little different, okay? So what we're looking for is for that to kind of take place. So you notice that my stochastic is up. I do not, and when I switch, I'm on that hour. Under no circumstances do I have time frame confluence. But you notice that setup that's coming, right? That setup. So that's what I want you guys to get a look at, get a feel for, so you understand when you would actually take a trade. So it's twofold. One, you have to analyze and understand where you are in the market. Then you have to drill down and understand how to take the trade. Okay. Any questions, comments, or testimonies so far? Questions, comments, or testimonies? Questions, comments, or testimonies? So we're good on this pair. Let's jump to another one. Let's jump, because I think my AUD CAD look like it's trying to start moving. So let's jump over. All right, so once again, I have AUD CAD marked up, and we're gonna start from the higher time frame, okay? So, and I actually don't like this one that much, so let's not do that one. I don't like what the shift that happened. Let's look at AUD USD. I really don't, and this one might have already taken profit. I told you I had some things kind of set up for you. So not all the way, not all the way. So let's look at this. Let's see what this can give us. Yeah, so this will be an intraday. This one is more of a swing trade, or you can make intraday trades out of it, okay? So you're gonna get either like a swing trade or some intraday trades. You know, you kind of have that area. I probably would allow it to kind of break through there. But this one for, oh, awesome, thank you. It's very helpful. You're very welcome. So me personally, I'm letting it break because you see how it wicked through here. So I won't be taking it until it breaks through there. But this one can actually be a swing trade setup, because if as long as that trend shifts, then we can look, you know, we can definitely take that trade down. You see all that room and opportunity. So for my swing traders or my zone to zone, you can kind of see where you would actually get to from there. But coming to the AUD USD, you notice that, let's start from the top. Let's start up here. So we'll do this one and then we'll go look at Bitcoin and see what's going on, since you guys like trading that. So now you notice I also have it saved as BYOB. You can have different, lists, your watch list that you can create, but I have mine saved as BYOB because this is what I was analyzing for us collectively. So that way I can always just kind of click through. You can take them off, you can add to. Like I said, I don't like this one, so I'm just gonna scratch it off. I might watch it, but I just click and it go away. I can put it back. See, it's gone now. So it's off of that list. So, but I'm gonna come back to the AUD USD. And when I come to AUD USD, you notice that on my higher time frames, I'm gonna jump to my weekly. You notice where we are, we're at a major area. Like I say, we're at a so basically on my weekly, I'm only getting one candle a week. So that candle will come Sunday night. That's why a lot of setups and things happen at the very beginning of the week, because these candles formulate at the top of the week. Then my daily, when the market opens. So now if I come to my daily, right, we got one candle a day, and you can see the rejection in the area that we are. So we're not at a swing trade as of yet. What we are is at a trade, right? What we are is at a trade where you can see that it's just probably more of an intraday in here, because we need it to break or we need it to break. We need it to break or we need it to break. So it has to break. I'm not predicting the market, right? What we're doing is information and education. But I will not predict or try to help you predict. You are actually analyzing and taking trades. So it's either going to break or it's going to break, okay? In either direction. So as I began to drill down a little bit, what you notice is that that zone is marked up, and that's really what these are. So if I'm looking for this to pull back up, if it rejects from this area, as you notice, we're almost oversold. And as it comes down and it rejects, then it's just going to be, the market. So how did I arrive at my BYOB watch list? A little experience, seeing the patterns and where the market is, and, looking at different things, paying attention to the news, and probably some experience, understanding the harmonic patterns that are in the market, understanding the highs, the lows, and different things like that. So just kind of that. And of course, like, as I mentioned, some of the patterns and different things. So when I look, when I'm looking, I can see that, like I said, so we already saw where we were on a higher time frame. Okay. And I'll kind of mark this because I want you to see it. And then of course I come here and you can kind of see it. Okay. So you want to identify those areas. So you want to identify those areas. If I switch to my traditional candles, you can see that was it tried to break it. It pulled back up. So you can kind of see where it's hanging out in that area. That was a nice drop in one day. That was a nice move in one day where it really tried to break it. Now you can see where it doesn't have enough strength to pull out of there. So you see the zone areas that we kind of marked up. Come down to my 4 hour. When I come to my 4 hour, okay, when I come to my 4 hour, you can definitely see what's happening right here. Let me make sure I don't have a chat on any questions on the other really quickly. Pay attention to both. I don't see any. I just want to make sure I didn't have anything coming in from YouTube or Facebook as far as questions. So if I missed your question, please drop it back in there. I got you. So, how did I, change that? You can, I'm sorry. You can click the 3 buttons and you can click rename right here. I just renamed it right here. Yeah, say the letters BYOB. So say BYOB. All right. So what you notice on my 4 hour is I have some, it's rejected. So obviously if it comes down here and it breaks this, then we're not looking for a buy. You're welcome. So if it comes and it breaks, we're definitely not looking for a buy. All right. Now, as I look, you can see here I am. You're looking at your traditional candles. Switch back to my Hikinashi candles. And you can see the momentum, because remember, these are trend candles. So that means there are more buyers in the market during this hour. I mean, more sellers. Let me say that correctly. There are more sellers in the market during that hour. There are more sellers in the market during this 4 hour. And I have this is a new 4 hour candle. I have 3 hours and 19 minutes until my next candle. So there are more sellers in the market, right? So here, as I'm looking, you can see the analysis or as far as where we are, you see that hour. So now what we're going to do is we're going to do that split screen again. I love the split screen, if you haven't noticed. And I'm going to change this to my AUD USD as well. You notice that it's not, so I'm going to change it. And you notice that it popped up the way that it was supposed to. Yay, a little bit, except for my, So if I come up, all right. So, but my zones are there. I don't know, so it's just taking a while, I guess. It is what it is. But you can definitely see. But the beautiful thing is all I have to do is come add it. All right. So if I add it, but notice it popped another one. So maybe it needs to be on there when I do it. So we'll figure this out together. Because normally I just do it and then I have my split screen. But as far as a teaching, because we weren't doing this, 720. Now it'd just be sitting on top of that one over here. So notice that, where we are as far as that target. And then of course you have your other target right there, which is around the top of this. So I'm gonna drop down to my 15 and you can see, obviously we should want to put the other line on there, right? Let's put it there, 6.394. That'll be really thick on the other side. So you notice that on my split screen, what you see, let's look at my traditionals. And you can see how it keeps trying to break through. The buyers and sellers are in a nice little tug of war fight. I'm gonna switch back to my BYOB cash out with my Hikinashi candles. And you notice that that's still a lot of momentum, but let's make this one on my hour. You notice that, look at my stochastic is in an oversold position. We're having some rejection. None of these are ready. Once again, this is a setup. So these are things you can follow and you can see the momentum and you can kind of see your time frame confluence. Like, where am I at on my higher time frame? I'm on my hour here. And let me see if I can get a little bit over here. I'm on my hour here, but I'm on my 15-minute over here. So you can kind of see that side by side where you can kind of, like if I put this little box on here, okay, if I put this box here, you can see that one candle, that's that activity that's happening. So that one candle, that's that activity. So let me switch my candles, come over here, make sure I switch my candles. And you can see that one candle, that's that activity. So we're trying to get some rejection, it's trying. And so of course, once that setup is complete, but right now, look at how it's trying to move, but don't be anxious and just jump in. I don't want you just trying to get in because look at what the overall trend. So that's what candles do. That's why we use Hikinashi candles. Some people use naked candles. It's fine. You'll see that not tomorrow, but Dr. Graham will be teaching. You guys have loved Ms. Graham, but you'll get to experience her husband as well on Thursday mornings. And, he does a lot of naked chart supply and demand zones. So you'll get to experience that, but not this Thursday, not tomorrow, but starting next week. He'll be available on Thursday mornings, but you can see all this activity. And what tends to happen is people start getting excited and they want to jump in a trade, but they haven't waited for the retest. They haven't waited for the correct activity and the right momentum before they just kind of dive in a trade, which why we say market structure with the twist is because what I'm showing you here is market structure. That's market structure. You see naked charts. I mean, not naked because I have some zones on there, but I don't have a lot of indicators. So you see the naked candles, right? You see those naked candles. And then to help you understand, because yes, we teach and we have classes on how to read the candles, but when I switch to my Hikinashi candles, it does the interpretation for you. So what does that say to you? Give me some feedback. What does that say to you? Somebody, anybody, what does that say to you? I'm gonna turn the song back on and wait. What does that say to you? It's not ready. It's not ready. It's not ready. Right? It's not ready. And that's really what it is. It's not ready. It's not ready. And that's it. So now you can see with the Hikinashi candles, we're starting to get that, but of course we would need that PSAR flip. So it looked like a doggy candle. See, awesome, awesome, awesome. It's simplified, awesome. And that's what you're looking for because you want that momentum. We're starting to get some momentum. Don't get me wrong. We are starting to get some momentum. So, but this is still a red candle when I look at it. And with my Hikinashi candles, with my trend candles. So we definitely want to make sure that we have the momentum needed because imagine had you gotten caught up in this, right? Imagine had you gotten caught up in this. You would be upset waiting for it to turn around or waiting for it to hit your stop loss. So that's ultimately what you're waiting on, okay? So I'm gonna switch this back to my Hikinashis. Now, if I look at my 30-minute, you can kind of see where you look like it's trying. It looks like it's trying, but it's not quite there. So that's just two that I've given you to kind of watch. And this is what we'll be doing on Monday and Tuesday mornings, okay? At 9 o'clock. Now, Wednesdays, I just wanted to come say good morning to you all and actually kind of dive in with you, but that's ultimately what it is. Now, what I'm going to do is we're going to go ahead and I'm going to take this one off. And so we have our GBP AUD, okay? We have our GBP AUD. You have your AUD USD that you can follow. And of course, I want you guys to drop it in the chat. Definitely drop it in the chat as you understand, as you take profit, as you analyze, as you gain clarity in the Trading Academy chat. Just, so we can share in your experience and your growth as you take, as you navigate through this, because I want to know that you're gaining what we're teaching, you're learning from it, so that. Now, here we are. Bitcoin. It hit a low. You see my markups from a long time ago. Actually, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna clear this chart. Let me remove these drawings. I got 66 drawings on there. So I just deleted everything. Now I'm gonna come over here and I'm gonna mark it back up. So Bitcoin. So no, 5:30 will be Monday through Thursday, as I mentioned last night. That's definitely the case, but not tomorrow. This is our first week. There are still a few adjustments and things being made. So just bear with us. It's definitely going to be put out there. I think I had two more. One more, I might be able to get through at least one more. So, but I did want to get this Bitcoin out there. So right now I'm on my daily. Maybe I should do this. Okay, yay, you did it. I'm back over here because I wanted to get on both of them. And so if I'm looking at Bitcoin, as you can see, I'm on my higher time frame. All right. We want to always pay attention to what's really happening, right? Bitcoin spiked. We remember that. Then it had a nice drop. And as we look at the nice drop, it had to come break that. It broke it. And now you can see where we're back at. It's trying. Bitcoin needs to break here. Okay. It needs to break. So, but there's still trading opportunities. So what we're going to do is come on back over here. And I'm on my 15-minute. And so on my 15-minute, you notice I'm gonna break it back down. I'm on my 4 hour on this one. And you notice that, matter of fact, let me do this. Switch it back to 1. So you notice that here we are. All right. And we're looking, so this is actual price of Bitcoin. So right now, today, Bitcoin is almost $25,000 a coin, a coin. So you notice that it's rejecting. It pushed up, it has to break. It had a nice ride up, it skyrocketed back up. That was great, right? That was wonderful. And if I switch to my traditional candles, my Japanese candles, you can see, but as it did, this area, it needed to break, right? This area in here, we needed to break through that zone. So I'm gonna put my side-by-side back with Bitcoin, and I am on my lower time frame. So for those of you all who trade Bitcoin, what you're looking for, do not forget, okay? If I come back over here, we're gonna break it. It's gonna retest before it does anything. Always wait for the retest, okay? Always wait for the retest. And of course, because of what time frame I'm on over here, that's why it looks like a straight line. But you wanna allow Bitcoin, you know, so you wait for the retest before you enter. And so you notice where we are. So I'm on my 1 hour, drop down to my 30. When I drop down to my 30, you can see in its market structure, I don't care what time frame you're on, but as you can see that momentum, and if I switch to my traditional candles, you can see that it's rejecting off of there in this zone, in this area, but I would still be mindful of a sell. Even if it pulls back there, you know, I would still be mindful because it's breaking. So I'm not trading it in that zone. I like clear direction. That's just my preference. I like clear direction. You know, what do they say in dominoes? All money is not good money, because this is not gambling. I want to be very clear. We're not gambling. We're analyzing to take successful trades. I don't have to take every single trade. So that's my Bitcoin analysis, okay? Any questions on any of that so far? Any questions so far? None. Let me see, USD. Did I have that on there? Let's add one more. I didn't add it, so I'm gonna add it. Why is it doing that? USD JPY, let me add it. Now it's on there. Okay, here we go. So I'm gonna always start here on my higher time frame. Okay, I always kind of start, you see some markups already there. I don't need those. I'm not gonna go get rid of those right now. I'll just kind of keep you guys focused in here. So that's obviously a prior analysis. So I'm gonna change it to a line chart. I am going to change my target and then we'll talk about it. And that's what's going to be different for us, correct? That's what's going to be different. It's the ability to maintain the markups. And so before you start marking up anything, analyzing anything, you want to make sure you clear those charts from what you have before. You're going to have to do that. Okay. So obviously I'm going to mark on my lower time frame, but I always start around my daily. I always start, you know, to kind of get that feeling of where we are in the market to make sure that makes sense. You want to make sure it makes sense. You want to make sure it makes sense. So this is what I have marked up. It just didn't translate over. So I'm here, all right, on my daily. Now, if I squinch it up just a little bit, I'm gonna switch to my Hikanasi so you can kind of see I like the flow of the market, okay? I do, I like the flow. You notice that was in a nice downward trend. Now, what do we talk about? That last significant level, even on my higher time frame, last significant level, right? It pulls up, that retest that it has. It did not break that last significant level, which is where these numbers are coming from. So as long as I'm not breaking that last significant level, all right, which is right up in there, and then I know that I will be good for a buy. Like I'll be good for that upward momentum. Now, if it breaks this area, if it breaks through there, then no, I'm not good for that, right? I'm not good for that at all. So if it pushes through here, then I'm not good. And this is more of an intraday right here, because we would have to break this area here. we would have to break the area that's up here. Okay. We would have to break the area. Let me see, because I know I had something over there. All right. Awesome. Awesome. So, well, thank you so much. Somebody said you're on track. Thank you so much. So, like I said, we would have to break that area there. So, and looking, okay, so if we break this area, then we will have an official like that trend change direction. But right now, you can see where this really kind of pulled back, okay? So what you're looking for in here is more of an intraday. Well, I'm still on my daily. Let me drop down some so you guys can really see what I mean, you know, because we marked that area up. So based on where we came down here, I'm not trying to trade past here until I have confirmation, right? This is that daily area. I'm not trying to trade past here unless I have some confirmation. So you're looking for this to kind of turn around. Obviously, it's going to have to break through here, which is why I left this one dashed. And then you'll be trading in this zone area right here if it pulls up, okay? So we're going to see what happens. And as we kind of drill down just a little bit, matter of fact, let me show you. Let me not just tell you. I want you guys to have a visual. All right. So when I'm looking like right up in here, okay, you can kind of see reject it, reject it, reject it. So if I look at my candles, see that rejection? Those are my traditional candles. You see that rejection and you see them pulling up. And then you can see where in this area right here, it wouldn't go. And look at how hard that dropped. So it's possible, right? Because it cleaned all of that up. It cleaned all of that out. So it's what we're looking at is for this to pull back up, but I'm not going to keep a buy going till I know for a fact it's going to bypass this area. So we're looking like it's trying to come back for a buy. But once again, I'm not going to be in that buy, right? That's a lot of pips, right? But I'm not going past there for a swing trade or something of that nature until I know for sure. Okay. So let's get our side by side going. Let's drop down a little bit. You can see the same thing. So that happened with that drop was 1 4-hour candle. So within 4 hours, that's 155. But then of course we had news this morning. So when I look at what took place, you can kind of see that. So it'll try to clean it back up and get the market back on track. All right, get the market back on track. So let's do my side by side. And I want to get that USD JPY over here. And my markups are there. Praise the Lord. Just tell the Lord thank you. And you can see where that rejection is happening there. And now, what does that look like? Make sure these Hikanashis, let's get over here on my hour and make sure I have some Hikanashi. So I don't have confluence right now. I don't. So what would typically happen is you guys will look, that blue line cross over the red and an upward momentum. I have a green candle with a flat bottom and a PSR flip, but I do not have confluence, which means this is going to pull back. That's what that means. We have about 3 minutes to the next hour candle, well, 2 minutes here, and you'll be able to see what happens with that. But no ma'am, no sir. So let me see, come over here, drop down. As you can see, that's pulling back already on my 5. So remember that 15 is like where you analyze for entry. The 5 minute, you could drop down for entry, but my 5 minute is pulling back. I do not have confluence anywhere. I have no confluence anywhere. Questions, comments, or testimonies? Was this helpful? Has today been helpful? Awesome. This is what Monday and Tuesday mornings will be. This is what Monday and Tuesday mornings will be. And of course, I will teach you how to see what I see as well. Very, very glad. So we are down to 1 minute and 30 seconds, 1 minute and 25. And so side by side is a game changer. I love it. I promise I do. I love it. I love it. I love it. All right, so we're right here at a minute. Okay, countdown. Minutes move slow when you want them to move. All right, 30 seconds. All right, maybe I should have put the song back on. Hey, you could be your own bank. See what this next hour does for us. 10 o'clock. See? Now you understand. So let me explain to you what just happened. This hour candle, right? You see it pushing through, but look what happened. So now you understand why blue line cross over the red and an upper momentum, green candle, flat bottom, P-star flip to the bottom, okay? P-star flip to the bottom, but people will take that without doing a confluence. Because now look what happened. You see how it pulled back? Even though my stochastic is still pointed up. So let me see. Absolutely. I don't have words beyond indicators at the top of my chart. You shouldn't have any words above indicators. I guess I'm not understanding what you're asking. There are no words above indicators. Or you mean here? Like, I don't know. You might have to contact TradingView if you don't have the currencies, if you know, the indicators that are right here. So if you don't have anything else. Because I can't see what you mean, so I don't know. Or it could be the view. I don't know. So when we're looking, I'm gonna switch so you can see the traditional candles. Look at that. See that rejection? And now look at that. Let's come over here. Look at those traditional candles in comparison. Now, how many of you all previously would have taken a trade? Let's just be honest. I didn't mean to do that. Because of what you saw. How many of you all previously would have tried to take that trade? Yes, no, maybe so. So you guys are not going to tell me, See, thank you. Somebody on YouTube is being honest with me. Thank you so very much. So that's what I mean. We want you to analyze properly and be able to understand what you're doing. And that's ultimately what we're going to be working with you for, and to help bring you that deeper level of understanding. And so you can properly analyze these charts. Okay. So you see that? So that's what we are. So I'm going to change my screen share because that's going to be our analysis for today. So, you have the USD JPY, you have your GBP USD that we're watching. You have your AUD USD, right? Look at how that just dropped too. So at the top of the hour. So once again, we have to be mindful and pay attention to what we're looking at. And did Bitcoin do any changing? Nope, it's still in there. So once again, we didn't take any trades, obviously, but there's quite a bit, analysis. So I have no idea about, then I don't know, it would be how you have it set up, it would be how you have it set up. So I honestly don't know. You might have to just get on there and play with it and click some buttons to kind of, play with it a little bit. So I do want to change my screen share. And as I change my screen share, I'm going to give you a sneak peek of what is coming as we close out for the week. All right. I'm going to give you a sneak peek of what's coming as we close out for the week. So you guys could truly understand. Now, I will tell you, this is someone who has had a tremendous amount of success in the stock market. I will tell you, and of course, I'm going to give you the disclaimer that past profits do not indicate future success, but this is someone who I know is a six-figure trader, and I mean a six-figure trader a month, not a year. So when you in understanding that, and he has actually partnered with BYOB, and in order to access his training, you have to be enrolled in the professional package. You notice where your stock training is. So If you're not in the professional package, you will not be able to access the training that he's going to bring and the resources that he's going to bring to the table. So let me go ahead and I'm going to play this to introduce to you all one of our newest business partners that is going to be facilitating training on the platform.
What's going on, everyone? It's Jay Joseph with J Money Secrets. Who am I? I'm a wealth advocate, I'm a trader, and I'm also an investor. And I'm partnering with BYOB to bring you, yes, you, information about the stock market. That information about the stock market is going to educate you about the stock market. It's going to teach you how to generate income in the stock market. It's going to teach you how to grow your money using the stock market. And most importantly of all, what we're all after is building wealth using this thing called the stock market. I want to let you know what the stock trading did for me and what it can also do for you as well. It literally took me from earning 6 figures, taking 12 months, to being able to earn 6 figures in 1 month with trading in the stock market. The stock market is so vast with all these public companies, whether we go long or whether we go short, whether the market's up, whether the market is down, you can use stocks, which very high liquidity, to actually trade to create income. Now, keep in mind, trading stocks is separate from investing in stocks, and you'll know the difference. I look forward to serving all of you, helping you reach your actual income, investment, and also wealth goals by utilizing this thing called the stock market. Let's invest.
Awesome, right? Who's excited? I'm excited. I'm excited for what is to come. Let's invest, right? Let's learn this skill set. Let's do this together. So with that, stay tuned into the chat. You will get information. You will get information on your on the call schedule. Once again, that's something behind the scenes that we talked about that is still coming soon. So that's why you haven't got a full-blown call schedule that has been put out. And so with that being said, ladies and gentlemen, that is it for this week. That is it as far as our training and our classes this week. And we will be back Monday morning. Do not forget on Sunday, you want to get registered. You want to make sure you're registered for our webinar to fully understand BYOB and what's to come with that. But also this Saturday, if you are in flying distance of the Jacksonville, Florida area, then you want to make sure that you show up as we have our first official launch of the BYOB Trading Academy, BYOB Wealth Summit, our BYOB movement platform. You want to stay tuned. So, Ms. Reed, do you want to close us out in prayer this morning?
Yes, I will be delighted to talk to God in our behalf. I love to talk to God. Father God, we just love you so much. It's in your precious name of Jesus that we're just absolutely overwhelmed and overtaken by your goodness and by your mercy and your tender loving kindness, God. We thank you for your presence with us every time we come together. You're a mighty good keeper and such a great Father. God, you kept us together. We can't tell you enough how grateful we are that you kept us together so beautifully. Lord, we just thank and praise you for our co-founder, Miss Dyer, our founder, Mr. Rogers, God, all that you've been doing to them, through them, and for them. If we had 10,000 tongues, we couldn't thank you enough for all you have been to each and every one of us, God. Thank you so much for this great movement, for the anointing that's upon our lives to learn and to change the trajectory of our families everywhere, the world over. God, we decree and declare that we are 2 million strong and that we're turning this world upside right. Now, God, we are thanking you in advance for a wonderful weekend, and we ask that you would bring us together on Monday morning, that we might continue to do what you've given our hearts and our minds and hands to do. In Jesus' name, we praise you. Amen, and thank God. And this officially ends this great call. Have a wonderful, wonderful weekend.